I'm just going to assume that the stream's actually live and say, hello, welcome. I should have code open, not Trumps, but anyway. We're going to continue working on the FPS that I was working on yesterday. Since I finished last night, I've added basic functionality that if you if I hit them, apparently it's broken. There we go. If you hit the box, it'll spawn guns. There's still no ammo. It's firing a ray, so if I come out so I can see the player, it does visualize the ray, as you can see. Just not entirely sure why. I don't know why those boxes aren't breaking. It doesn't make sense. It's interesting. For one thing, for some reason it's back to spawning two boxes on top of each other, which is a little bit weird. Got their drop table. Set scale. They haven't got their drop set. It's more the problem. I'm not sure why either. Doesn't make sense. So that's why they're not dropping anything. They haven't set to drop anything. Over there. It's bizarre. Like, I can't even think why they wouldn't. I also don't understand why there's two of them. Because I only see one in the side panel here. That might be in the map route. Yeah. So one of them's inside in the map route here. Let's go to this drop table. But as if it's drop set, it's just bizarre. So I don't know why. For some reason, not everything's spawning getting its drop table. We should probably work on that as our first bug. But basically the way it works is inside cells. If we go to the small box, I can specify the drop table, and then when the cell is spawned, it'll basically run through running these odds and adding them to the drops whenever they are rolled. And then rolling the amount as well, which I'm not sure if I should maybe make the amount a different roll. Like how to explain? So instead of saying there's a 75% chance that it'll spawn a blaster A, and then it can spawn between 1 and 3 if it does, I could just have it saying there's a 25% chance that it spawns a blaster and have it 3 times, so it does 3 rolls to see if a blaster spawns. But I haven't really decided how it works. I had to give everything an offset because I noticed that the biggest issue I was running into is that they would spawn where the box is, which in this particular way things are set up would cause them to just immediately fall through the ground. Yep, there you go. So I can shoot them all now. So it's got to be like a load order thing. Anyway. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Maybe make it so that the gun only has one shot and then it's done. Yeah, because I was going to do multiplayer, but I looked into it and I can't work out how I would go about hosting the signaling server, so I wouldn't be able to let people connect with it. And even if I did it direct IP connection, I've got Starlink, which means I don't have a IPv4, so people wouldn't be able to join particularly easily anyway. Alright, so what are we going to work on? We're going to... I guess we can make it so that when it shoots, it detaches, applies a rotation. I think that would be pretty cool. Alright, so when we fire, we want to unparent, which I think is a commands thing. So we have the blaster here. We say blaster. We say commands empty blaster. I think again I'm gonna go with like we could make recoil not a thing. God damn it! It's so difficult because I don't really know what I want to do. Maybe we'll add an ammo. I feel like it's spelt wrong. So we're gonna add an ammo, and we're gonna. This is just like a U8, I guess. It needs to drive all of this stuff so that we can spawn the blasters in with a specific amount of ammo. What I should do is also write like custom serialization code or deserialization code so I can specify like the number of rounds that a blaster has. So here we go. I don't remember what gun B was. So gun A is going to have ammo. I would say gun A has, let's say 3 rounds. And then gun B is going to be like the little gun I was talking about in yesterday's stream where it's just going to have a single round. So when you fire it basically just flies away. Not 0, 1. Okay. So I was going, there's 2 ways to go about ammo when it runs out. Is one I was thinking just like, because again, I want the game to be sort of sporadic and just fast paced. So the idea would be if we make it so that when you fire your last bullet, the gun you just play doesn't hold on to it. The other option is when you fire and there's no bullets left, your player throws the gun instead of shooting. Like if there are no bullets, you throw the gun. That would be a cool way of doing like an indicator to the player that they've run out of ammo without needing a HUD or anything. Is that like when you fire and there's no ammo left, you throw the gun at the player. But I also feel like it'd be much funnier if the gun just like flies away when it's been exhausted. The issue is we need to somehow come up with some kind of way of disabling the collider, I guess. So we need to grab recoil and ammo. So recoil is what determines how long before. Okay, so okay. We also probably want its parent, but I don't know how that works. I think we can just unparent it without needing direct access to the parent. But it's been a while since I've messed around in hierarchy stuff, so we'll have a look first. So we blasters send this and this and this and this and this. Okay, so we're gonna go down here. We're gonna say if ammo equals 1. 1's not really the right number because 0 would make more sense, but is it? Just say equals 0. Because I guess in this way, like it doesn't matter what the actual ammo count is because I'm not going to display it. So it's purely going to be like, you can have 0 ammo and firing the gun, it'll fire and then do its thing. But if ammo equals 0, else ammo minus equals 1. Just like that. So we will now say commands entity blaster dot parent set parent unparent remove parent. Okay, remove the parent of this entity. This also removes this entity from its parent's children component. Removing all children from the parent causes its children component to be removed. Okay, but what does remove in place? Parent remove parent in place. Make this entity parentless while preserving its this entity's global transform by updating its transform to be equal to its current global transform. Okay. Yeah. Note that both the hierarchy and transform updates will only execute the next command applied. Okay, so we're going to do this. Remove parent in place. Then we need to dot insert. So we need a dynamic widget body. So we're going to add the dynamic body back onto it so that it can move. We're going to add a velocity to it, which is going to be I guess we'll do this when we say linear is going to be I think it's just a vec3, right? Vec3 new. So we're going to give it a x velocity of 0, a y velocity of, say, like 2, and a z velocity of negative 0.5. I think that's actually forwards, but whatever. And then we need to say angular, and then we're going to say vec3 what is it? It's I think it was x we concluded was the rotation around that axis, because y is going down from the top because you're rotating around the y axis. The z axis is from the front, and you'd be rotating around the front, which means the z axis, which is from the side. So the hope there is that when you fire the gun, it will unparent it, apply, give it a dynamic, make it dynamic. So this is why I don't want to remove the collider when I do it. So what we kind of need to do is remove the rigid body, wherever the fuck that is. But I feel like it's ammo.0. The if we leave the collider, like, because when we pick up the gun, I think it is equip gun. We set the parent. Okay, that's not right. That's just positioning it. We remove the collider, and if it's the parent or not. But I'm pretty sure if we don't remove the collider, then it just gets treated as a static collider. Like, just removing the rigid body is not going to work. So we remove this thing's collider and the parent's rigid body. So that would be, we need to go like commands dot entity. I guess is entity U? I think entity is U. Entity is the player. So it is something we do commands dot colliding dot entity colliding and remove rigid body. So now, no matter what, we remove the rigid body. The thing is, I don't think that's going to work. I think that's going to treat the collider as static, and it's just going to result in our player flying away when we equip the, and then have a static collider chasing us. So we should probably test that. And in theory, this should just work because both blasters have an ammunition count. Technically, I think this should be 0 because again, we're kind of checking, which means we actually want this to be 2. We're checking to see the ammo count at the end to see if we're de-equipping the gun, and if we don't de-equip the gun, we decrement it, which means having an ammo count of 0 technically gives you 1 shot left because it's the next shot that it'll fire away, and hence the whatever gun, this little red gun would fire away with nothing. It failed to pass it, didn't it? Expected comma. Where did you expect the comma? It's in this one. You've got commas. What do you mean? Failed to load asset blaster A. 10-9. Expected comma. Get this. Okay. Wait, no, because it can't be a dot. It's a fucking. Okay, it's probably not this blaster that was having a problem. It was probably the blaster that I missed the comma on. That's actually the one that's telling me. Type not in registry. Okay, so we need to register ammo, otherwise it won't work. So we go back to the blaster, and we need to register types ammo. Register type ammo. Okay. Run. So, hopefully this will work, and that every gun will have 3 shots in the purple gun that we spawn with, and then, come on, give us the purple gun. There we go. See, so it's kept its collider, and we are definitely hitting the collider. So it's also a bit weird that the collider moves differently to the, to the object it's attached to. So what we need to do is work out some kind of collision group, which I guess we're going to go to Rapier and be like, group. Can we turn dark mode on, please? Group. Why does it not show up? There is definitely collider groups. Well, first off, we want to go to Bevy Rapier, not just Rapier. Bevy Rapier 3D. I'm certain that there is collision groups. I don't know why their search isn't working. Colliders. So, oh god, I hate that. It's so hard to read. Coefficient, no. Okay. Collider group. Set the collider and solve groups. So, solve group. Collider group. Okay. So, now I'm going to work out which way it works. So, a collider group filters for filtering what pairs of colliders. Okay. So, solve group for filtering what pairs of colliders should have their contact forces computed. This filtering happens at the end of the narrow phase. Okay. But how does it work? For example, let's say when our collider A is part of group 0, 2, and 3, and to be able to interact with group 2, then its group's membership is... Okay, so right, so it's you pass two things in, so it's we want the player to hit everything. See, and I guess unloaded guns we don't want the player to be able to pick up, so it would kind of make sense to change its group like that. But what do we want to do? Where are we picking up the gun? We need to add the collision group. The issue is I don't know if it works in the sense that we have to put it on the player. So let's go to the player first and go collision group and then be like player. Can we like collision group B? I don't know. Where do we spawn the player? Somewhere down here, spawn player. So here we say collision groups. New. Okay. Membership. So the membership is the groups that you're in. So it's group. You're in all XOR? No. Let's just go group B. You are group B. And I guess let's just call you all. Let's go group. It's literally called group. Okay, fine. Wait, what were the other groups? I wish I could name the group. That would be nice. So there's all, and then there's all the numbered groups. It's just storage type is what was showing up. So I want to say that your filter, which is the only groups you're allowed to hit, is all. Is it X or? Yeah, okay. And then we want to say group 2, group 2. So you can hit anything but group 2. And we're going to say that group 2 is our blaster that's been equipped. So getting a little bit out of control. So we need to say insert collision group new. So you're a member of group 2, right? And your filter is that you can hit all. Okay. And we want to do that regardless of which one we actually get. Right. Alright, so that should mean that we don't get stuck on the gun, because we set the gun to be in group 2 when it's in the player's hands, and that also means that you can't hit other players with your gun, because, yeah. Okay, I'm still definitely hitting it. I don't quite understand. Is it because it stays static? Can we just leave the rigid body? Can we just change the group? That would actually be the best approach. So if instead we'll leave the rigid body, because it could also be that it's becoming static, and then that static ignores group checks because they're static. That wouldn't make sense, because in certain objects you may want to hit certain other objects, but still be static. Alright, well, what am I doing? Brain is going to sleep. So when we run this, we'll leave it as a dynamic body. We won't remove the component, which could really mess it up, because it may let it spin and rotate because it's still going to be able to hit things. Yeah, like, okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Kinematic, maybe? So, well, the other thing is you shouldn't be able to kick. Oh, because you're filtering for all. Group. No, dynamic. Rigid body. Rigid body. We don't want your rigid body to be dynamic. We want it to be kinematic position based. I don't know. So copy that down here. It's another one of those places I should probably swap it to being using a single system, so I don't have to keep changing it in 2 places. But we're just going for the get it working kind of approach at the moment. I really need to go through this code and clean it up. But I'm really just in a mood to add features at the moment to games. Oh, okay. So as of the fact that we can now kind of fly around, because we're still hitting it. Why is the player hitting it? That is the question. So it is part of group 2. Its membership is in group 2, and we said that you filter group 2, right? Player XOR's group 2. Does it filter out group 2? Is that what the problem is? The group is okay. So, and to be able to interact with the groups 2, then its group membership is all those, and its group filter is 2. The collision group are resolved. Okay, so wait, 0. Yeah, so group 2 in this case being actually group 3, but it shouldn't make a difference. Because okay. Collision groups dot membership b dot. Okay, So, is it because the gun can interact with us? No, because they're fucking pushing the gun around. So the player is a member of all groups and can interact with all groups, but the gun is a member of group B and can interact with all groups. How do I'm not understanding why the player can fucking hit it. Dynamics, yep, okay. Because like as soon as we pick up the gun, we just sort of, we only got pushed through the ground this time. Alright, we need to work out where the oh. Okay, so this is the player. Here's your body. You've got collision group something. Collision group. It's a big number. Okay, hex. Oh no. Decimal. 2 binary. We're gonna work out exactly which groups. 90% sure it's in all of them. So yeah, so it's just all A's or all ones, and this one should be like all ones except the lowest. Yeah, except group 2. Yep. Okay. So that's definitely correct. And then if we go to, well, I think somehow we unequipped the gun, which is probably because we shot it too many times. We also like flying away into the void. That's kind of funny, but it also never. Wait, it did deparent it. It just never took the gun off of us. Well, that's actually even funnier. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. Give us the gun. Okay. So I need to somehow do this without clicking more than 3 times. It's gonna be funny. This entity. Yeah, it's unequipped on us, but you know, whatever. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. Well, your rigid body's now dynamic, because we can't pick it back up. But its group shouldn't have changed, right? Collision group membership 2. Yeah. Got that. Right, so it should have. I don't. It's in collision groups. Pairwise collision filter bit mask. Okay. The group membership of A has at least 1 bit set to 1 in common with group B. Okay, so you have 1 bit in common, but you only have the 2nd bit set. So they don't have anything in common. That's I don't understand it. Static. Oh, we just really fixed. Fixed. Yeah. I mix up names because I've got Unity on the brain. I don't know why. I haven't programmed in Unity in ages, but static just makes more sense than fixed because they're dynamic and static, not dynamic and fixed. No, just naming schemes. I'm also just going to jump into the lounge on Discord if anyone wants to jump in. Okay. Okay. Well, it kind of worked. Oh, look. Well, that's interesting. Like, it's like backwards because like I can hit it, but it can't hit me. So does that mean we need to flip what we've done? you need to be a member of all. See, I said you can hit all but group B. Group 2. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Why when it drops on the ground can I not move it? We said it's typed to static. We were holding it. It shouldn't make a difference. Okay. So we can hit it. Maybe it's the player controller. Does the player controller have those like a setting? And it's not that we can't hit it, that it's just that the player controller is taking over. Kinematic player controller. Custom shape up. Character length. Slide. Auto step max. Slope curve angle max. Filter flags. Flag filter out some categories of entities from the environments seen by the character controller. Filter group. Group of filter groups for filtering out some seen by the character. Okay. So my issue with that, I don't know why that's a separate option. Why doesn't it just pick up on that being part of the so we want to say all 2, but then we need to copy this collision group because I'm 90% sure that if we don't copy it, it'll end up in both. Filter group. Some. We default everything else. So that should fix the issue, because it's basically that the character controller is got its own filter group, which I guess makes sense. It means that like you could make it so that now see it doesn't bother anything. I can still step on it, but I can't push it around. Alright, cool. Yeah. I also probably should have shot some of the boxes first. We should probably add a despawn timer so that the guns don't just stick around forever. Okay. Well, see, that's part of the issue. Well, first up, it's still the same issue. Still can't hit it. I should be able to kick it, but it shouldn't be able to stop me. Okay. I also can't pick these ones up now. What? Okay. A little bit weird. Somehow I've kicked the guns into oblivion. I think that's more like a frame rate issue, that I need to collide with the object for like 2 frames, and the issue is that 90% of the time I kick the object away before it's got 2 frames to collide. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Again, can't seem to touch these guns for long enough to get them to pick up. Ah. Okay. So, should probably check the gun pickup logic, but all except 2. If I put you in group 1, group 1, because in theory the player shouldn't fall through the ground because that's the dynamic body. We could also just like remove the collision group, and then it's only the character controller. If we do that, then only the character controller is affected. What I want is to still be able to kick the gun around, even though it's empty. You can't pick it back up, which we would probably also need to remove the blaster from it. We need to recompile it. Blaster. How does the gun pick up code? Pick up empty gun. Oh wait, that would probably explain why I can't pick up the guns after that. We never set our hand to being back to empty. So it kind of works. All right, we need to set our hands back to empty when we drop the blaster as well, which is down here. Let me say somehow we have commands entity, not player, current gun. Okay. I don't think this is the best way of doing it. It really should be more like the component, like the current gun component, rather than it being present or not present that determines if you can pick up a gun. It should have like option some, option none, and then I could have like a left and a right hand. So anyway, remove the current blaster. Yeah, that should allow me to pick guns up after my current gun is done. And then outside the fact that we're currently making it so that you fucking walk into them and it's stuck. Need to pick. Okay. It's still having a bit of an issue, but if you walk into something really fast, it just kicks it away. Which means that the only reason I can pick this one up is because it's landing on my head. And because it's falling, it means that like me moving around doesn't do anything to it. Right. Really? How have I... Oh, I can't move forward again. I thought I told you to ignore. Right. Player. The controller. Oh, which means we're probably getting pushed backwards. Right. You ignore group 2 guns. Just entirely. Physics engines when you don't understand them. Like, I know a decent amount about physics engine, but I do always just run into the issue of sometimes I don't know enough. Okay, try that again. Okay, gotta keep that energy up. Live stream's not nearly as much fun as it was yesterday. Probably because I'm stuck on a problem. Programming just tends to be a lot more fun when you don't. Can't move forward. I can move backwards, but I can't move forward, which means that you're just not ignoring the collider like you're supposed to. But why? I've told you first off that you're part of group 1, but that you filter and interact with all except group 2. Do I have to put you back to group all? I don't know. It's very confusing. I need to work out what it means more accurately. It's just still can't move forward. Okay. Now, my interesting question with that, can I? Annoyingly, I can't right click. And as soon as I click for a third time, I don't have enough click. Okay. If I set it back to kinematic, it just shouldn't be interacting. Maybe we should work on that first. Let's just, when we spawn the blaster in, set its group to... it's not going to be as easy as... Yo, I'm trying to read your name, but my brain is not... Niskel. I hope your day goes better than mine. I'm struggling to work this out because I don't understand why the physics would be colliding when I've said that you are not a part, like the gun is part of group 2. Because what did it say? Was something about, like, if I misunderstood this, at least one bit set in 1 is common with the filter of 2. So the fact that you filter with all means you should be hitting the player. If I say none, I suspect that it's just going to fall through the ground. I don't get it. What I want is that the player should be able to push the gun around. Well, okay. Kind of like, yeah, what's the problem? At the moment, what's happening is I'm immediately picking the gun back up. Interestingly, the gun is in group. Its membership is none, which makes like 0 sense. It's in group. Its filter is none. So you shouldn't be hitting anything. Bet you can still hit the floor because the floor is something. Well, no, because then I shouldn't be able to pick it up because the player. Alright, that's the other thing to remove is we need to remove blaster from it when we drop it, because otherwise I can just pick it back up, right? Because that's all it checks for. Pick up empty gun. We query for all entities that are blasters. Yep. Okay. Hit scan. Fire. We need to also remove. We insert that. We insert that. And we also need to remove. I think we filtered for blaster, so that should be fine. Okay, remove blaster. So removing blaster means that you can't pick it back up because it's no longer going to be considered a gun. Now the fact that I can shoot, it's probably dropping every time when I shoot it though. It's just again like you immediately pick it up. There we go. Now we just need to work out why I can walk into it. I can't leave it's dynamic, right? Because it'll one fall out of my hand. So what am I setting it to? Kinematic, wasn't it? When we pick up the blaster, what do we set it to be? Fixed. Okay. Sure. Because I'm again wondering if maybe that fixed ignores collision groups, and that's like so that floors can always be hit. But that again doesn't make sense. Because there are situations where you'd be like, I want players to be able to walk through this, but not objects to be able to fall through this or something like that. So I can't see why fixed would filter like that. Oh, and we're back to it can fire me around the map now because... Alright, goodbye gun. Alright. Still not making any sense to me. Alright, so it's got to be something about how the player's set up. So the fact that I've got the player filtering for all. So if we say player filter none. If we say player is a member of all, like filters for none, they should fall through the map. But that's not going to happen because I think, again, I haven't told the floors that they have a filter, so I don't think it filters them. Well, there goes that idea, because that clearly it just falls through. So if I have you it's something about this works. Because if I say your filter is none, okay, you could hit group 1. But what the hell is group 1? Who knows? Maybe anything unlabeled. Maybe if I say your membership isn't group 2, you won't be able to do it. As soon as I pick that up. Okay, so because it feels backwards, because when I said filter none, it didn't hit anything. But then the gun, it's because it's not when we pick up the gun. Is that my problem? No, it's definitely when we pick up the gun. It could be this. We need to say you're like group 1. Okay, so now the player can only hit group 1 objects, which means that the gun that goes into our hands should not be a group 1 object, because when we collect the gun, we set it to group 2. It should not be pushed around by the gun in our hands. We are still pushed around by the gun in our hands. Why are we still pushed around by the gun in our hands? Goodbye, gun. I think it just clicked. Just clicked. This isn't a problem. It's okay. We want to not remove your collider, but instead insert rigid. Okay. I'll leave it as fixed because again we don't want to do physics based on fixed. Right. We just want it to not fall. Then we get rid of that, and we need to say that you are instead not parent.get blaster. No, not blasters.get children colliding. No, not colliding. Yeah, no, it is colliding. It's parent.get. Okay. Is that how it's gonna work? Okay. I think the issue is we're setting the child, not the parent, and because you have to put it on the actual collider itself. Otherwise, what ends up happening is the collider. Like, it means that you can have different parts of an object be collision groups. There we go. Okay. Oh, I kicked the gun away again. But let's pick. What? Why can't I pick up those guns? Okay, we need to set the player back to what the player was. We just. So that was my stupidity. So we're gonna say that you are group all XOR group 2. Same with you, your group all XOR group 2. Okay, let's just make you say all just because it looks nicer. Okay. So now the player can hit anything can hit the player. The player can't hit guns. Kind of wish you could name the groups, but I think that's like you'd have to implement your own filter thing. It wouldn't be that hard because it's literally just a binary implementation. But anyway, okay. Gun. Oh, well, well, okay. So that does mean that the blasters can't be a member. Oh, they can filter for all. So the guns can hit anything, but the guns are only a member of 2 once you've picked them up. So the guns will be able to scuttle off you and off the ground and everything, but you won't be able to hit the gun. So walking over an unloaded gun, you won't step up over it. Okay, cool. Okay, it works. And we come over here. Yeah. Fuck off. Alright, well, it's got to do with the player's speed, but the other thought is maybe just make... I can't make all the blasters, because... Wait, next we were picking the blaster back up, weren't we? Even when it went transparent? When we had it working before? That's the question. Is if I make the blasters just spawn in as part of group 2. When do we spawn the blasters? That's done like by entirely separate logic, isn't it? God damn it. Are you serializable? Yes. But you only reflect component. Okay, so you don't reflect deserialized returns. I can't actually include this as part of the group. Okay. What do I want to do? How do I make a blaster as part of a different group? We could just, whenever the blaster gets attached, make it its own group. I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to think how to make the... Because kicking the blasters around is a lot of fun. The issue at the moment is that it's just too much. Like that. What am I doing? So Collider is something I specifically given it. So there's no reason I couldn't have layer, right? And just be like, well, not exactly like that, but right, because like I can you can do that. Maybe more like some. Right, and then we have to go back to our map and specify that cells can have a layer. Map. So layer, which is going to be an option U32. Alright, and then we say okay. So it'd be more like we need a layer and a filter, and we also need to which is also going to be an option. Layer filter, we need to leave that on both of them. Well, it's more like it's better to have them as one thing. And then yeah, I'm going to copy this, we're going to move it down to wherever our asset is, and here we're going to go this, and then again we're also going to go 30 default, right, and we're going to say layer is none, because we don't really care about writing out that little bit of code, and then we're going to say your layer is cell.layer. Yeah, I don't call it layer in the map. I copy pasted it, so I don't know what you're on about. Okay, and then up here, no, it's when we spawn the cell. Where the hell do I spawn the cell? Map. Update cell. No, it's definitely it's like called spawn cell. Oh, it's called update cell. Update cell is called by both the onChange and onCreate. So we remove the collider entity. Add dynamic components. Okay. Okay. So it's like if let some mem and fill okay, I think it's like membership and then equals cell dot layer. Not cell, asset dot layer. Asset dot layer. Right, and then we can say cell dot insert what was it called? It was called a collision group. Collision group, new memberships and filters. Okay, so what are you taking? Groups. Okay. Group from bits retain. Group from what's truncate do? Okay, like that. There we go. So then when we go back up to our blaster cell, we say sum to we need that value back from whatever it was. We need to say that. So you're a member of 2. It says the blaster. There we go. Okay. And then rerun this. This should mean that the issue is the player is a member of everything, which kind of makes the player able to kick shit around. Where did the gun go? Where did the gun go? Probably just didn't parse properly. Yep, expected. Right, because we need to wrap them like so. Okay. Yep, there we go. Now the gun should have fallen from the sky now. Well, apparently not. Apparently, once it misses its chance, that's kind of it. Rerun the code with the fixed serialization. And okay, now we've got the gun. We need to shoot the box. Shoot the box. Shoot the box. Nope. Okay. Oh, fuck you. Well, I can walk through the gun. That's good. The idea being, hopefully, okay. Well, for some reason I can't hit the boxes now. Also, why can I kick them through the wall like that? How? Okay, something's gone very wrong. I also have no idea why the ray casting stopped working, unless of course it's just. Is something else going wrong? Small box still has its drop table, still has everything the same. Does it not have drops though? No, it even has drops, which means that something should have fucking fallen out of it. Oh. Okay, maybe I'm just an idiot. I can definitely still kick the fucking guns though. So why can't I kick that guy? So the better question. What else did we do to the blasters when we set them to? When I pick up a blaster, Pick up empty gun. What do I do to it? I say its group is all, its membership is 2 and its group is all. Alright. So for some reason, that allows me to drop the gun and walk through the gun. I also need to make it like 100% chance that they actually spawn with shit in them. Because it's starting to annoy me that I keep... Yeah. There's a 100% chance of one gun. 0 and 1. And then we're just going to say that there's a 75% chance there's a second gun. Because I do like the idea of having multiple guns come out. Between 1 and 3. Don't know if that's actually going to work. I don't know how my own code works. It picks a random number. Okay, so it's just not working. Fuck off. No, you can kick those boxes around. And they fucking kick back for some reason. Why does everything fly away? It's gotta be that the player just moves with so much force. Could also be that because we're a capsule, we're actually like climbing on top of things and then our mass is like, see, we're like sliding down it, and that may be firing shit away because we're like climbing on top of it and sliding down it. But like, see, it's not hitting me. That's the interesting part. Like, that gun should just be away, but it's not. I find that interesting. I think we've just like sort of broken everything, so that's fun. Alright. It's been an hour, so I'm gonna call it a stream for today. Not as nearly as productive as yesterday's stream, and hence not nearly as long. But I've just not got the mental fortitude to keep going on this project at the moment. I might stream again tomorrow. It depends if I make any progress on this. I need to sort of strip back a few layers because at the moment it's a bit wonky that you can like kick things and they fly away. One thing I'm thinking is probably increase the mass of everything so that like it doesn't fly away. But I think it's still gonna have an issue. Is the player controller is what's causing the problem. Is that it can just move through things. And it might be that the player's rounded, which is allowing me to mount up on things and the weight pressing down on the steer and it just flings it out. But I don't know. Anyway, I hope anyone that's watching the live stream like VOD enjoys, and thank anyone who actually tuned in, and I will see you